Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is said, gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Oh, was stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez is going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul call. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
Has to back it out.
Look at this deep 3.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
What a steal. Stevison 2-on-1, gets up, gets it in.
He doesn't use it, comes back out to Dominguez, who takes the 3. Boom! There's that man, Superman.
Turns, shoots off. Oh, wow. He made that.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a crazy shot.
Has everybody on him. Now he got open.
Open look for a 3, and that's what he does. A 3 for Dennerclaw. His first bucket of the game. And that's a 3, and it'll count at the buzzer.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Gonzalez steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is said, gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Oh, was stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez is going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3.
Sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
JJ Bob.
Road teams, baby. 3 out of 4 wins so far in the play-in tournament of the National Basketball Association. Bulls come back from down 19, eliminate the Raptors yesterday. Thunder on the road in Nolens eliminate the Zion-less Pelicans. Good morning to you. Merry Thursday. OD in the AM in your ear. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. It's good.
What it do?
You all right? Which one surprised you more? Bulls coming back from 19 behind 30 points in the second half from Zach LaVine to beat the Raptors in Canada, or the Thunder consistent, and your boy Giddey, the 20-year-old Australian, can ball. And if you haven't watched Josh Giddey, you get another chance, probably just one more against Minnesota, but maybe more. But he what did he go for, 30, 31? And Oklahoma City wins in New Orleans.
The collapse in the second half by the Raptors.
All right, that's where we'll start. You want to go with a near triple-double by the 20-year-old Australian?
I love myself some Josh Giddey.
Who doesn't?
I'm always big on those teenage pro players in the draft. He was one of those guys, second year, 20 years old, out of Australia, getting it done. But the Raptors, whew.
Up by 19 points at home. Jurassic Park was open. Big night going on in downtown Toronto. The Blue Jays were home, emptied out into Jurassic Park. They were up 58-47 at halftime, extended it, and then Zach LaVine happened. Pascal Siakam did everything he could. He had 32 and 9, although he missed a free throw when he had 3 at the end that could have tied it. But DeMar DeRozan game, 23 points for DeMar, 39 for the former UCLA Bruin, Zach LaVine, and the Bulls come all the way back. All right, we always have this conversation percentage-wise, right? Lakers and Timberwolves the other night, I thought it was 65-35 collapse to comeback. Is this more comeback or collapse?
I think it's 60-40 range.
In which favor?
Collapse to comeback.
More collapse.
19-point second half at home, missing free throws.
Yeah.
Unable to figure out any way to slow down Zach LaVine in the second half. And that's why the Raptors, very disappointing team when you look at that roster. That's
No
starting 5, really talented, and it was the role players of the Bulls that helped set the tone, open the door for Zach LaVine to blow up.
So I'm going to tell you a stat, and I'm not going to overwhelm you with stats. I don't like to overwhelm people with stats. But this is professional basketball, right? NBA?
Mm-hmm.
You tell me, and people tell me all the time, these are the best athletes in the world, right? That's what I hear on a regular basis. How do you shoot 18 for 36, 50% at the free throw line? Keyword here being free.
Is it DeMar DeRozan's daughter?
Because she was sitting there screaming the whole time. And I just, for the life of me, with all due respect, and I get it, they're pro players. Is this kind of, pitcher? Well, they're pitchers, they can't hit. Well, Jeff, they play defense, they can't shoot free throws. Is this kind of the same thing? It's
No,
not.
it shouldn't be the
It
same
can't
thing
be.
at all.
It just can't be. You're 15 feet away from the basket, and they are free. DeMar DeRozan's daughter's screaming at you in a piercing screech, by the way. And I give her a lot of credit because she is fantastic. But there's just no excuse for a professional basketball team to shoot 50% from the free throw line. 36 attempts. You make 5 more of them, you probably win the game. I mean, shoot 60%. I always look at stats to see what story they tell. Turnovers are always a big one to me. But you can't. I mean, you get 36 shots at the free throw stripe, and you make half of them. It's inexcusable to me.
Yeah, there's not any other way to spend it. You're 50% from the line. Your best player is 5 of 11. That's Pascal Siakam.
Yeah. And he gets to the line.
Point guard goes 50%, 3 of 6.
Yeah. It's inexcusable. Anunoby went 3 for 8. It's just, you want to look at it? I mean, I don't know. I got to believe they shoot free throws at the end of every practice like everybody else does. I'm going to guess that. But this is unbelievable. Marie's in. She's back. Back today after a one-day hiatus. Welcome back.
Thank you.
How you living?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Life's grooving. Life's grooving. Did you watch the hoops last night?
I did watch the hoops.
What stood out to you?
I watched the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think it was a bigger loss for the New Orleans Pelicans, but I didn't realize. I think the future is bright in Oklahoma City. They have a lot of first-round picks in the next couple of years, and I didn't realize that.
Well, they got the number 1 pick this year sitting on the bench because he got hurt.
They have multiple. I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I mean, this year, the last draft,
yeah.
I mean, their guy is sitting there, and he got injured before he could ever play.
These guys are going to be good.
Process?
Trust the process.
When you're looking around, Oklahoma City has the best foundation in the NBA.
Best foundation in the NBA.
And that's the first time I've watched them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, why would you watch them? Yeah, there was
exactly.
not a lot of reason
So I'm
to
like,
watch
wow,
them.
this team is going to be good.
Those are two of my favorite
That's what
teams
really
to watch.
stood out to me last night. It was a lot of fun.
So
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Who's legit.
Josh Giddey.
Yeah.
The mind-blowing fact they have 2 Jalen Williams on their team. If you didn't know, now you know.
Yep.
Like, wait a second.
One goes by Jay, one goes by Jalen, but yeah.
There's like, and Chet Holmgren, redshirting this season.
Their number 1 overall pick out of Gonzaga, who's hurt. Who, if you watched him in summer league, if you watched him I mean, I told you, he reminded me of Durant. Just the way he shoots, his perimeter game, 7 feet tall with handles, and when they get him, I mean, look, they got a shot to go into Minnesota and do something. I don't think they can beat the Nuggets, but you guys are not wrong on this. They completely were gutted. They rebuilt through the draft, and they drafted well. I mean, that's one thing. Like, you can have all the picks in the world. If you don't hit on them, it doesn't do you any good. They drafted well.
Well, and it's one of those ones where they came out better on the other side after trading a star player. And they sent Paul George to the Los Angeles Clippers in exchange for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander,
who scored 32 points last night and was their best player on the floor. He was their go-to guy. Put the ball. I don't know who the commentators were last night. Just give the ball to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and get out of the way.
Okay. And why I love the New Orleans Pelicans, because I think Brandon Ingram is fantastic. TJ McCollum is always fun to watch. But now you have that giant question mark of once you go down that road, can you come back, Zion?
So, how many games did he play this year? I mean, with all due respect, and I think he is really phenomenal when he plays. Didn't he have to play? At some point, and they just upped him, and he's played like he didn't play. Ever. He's making, I'm trying to find his number. I can't even find him on the damn roster because I'm looking at the wrong team. That's why. The reputation is earned. And I know that they think he's great, and that's wonderful. Should they trade him? What's his trade value? I mean, somebody's going to give you a lot for him, but what's his trade value?
The problem with Zion, it's not that he was hurt. It's when you start saying you can't handle it mentally. Why would you even come out before the playing game and have that conversation?
What do you mean?
Why are you dropping that? You can just say Zion is still out. But then the story comes out that he could play basketball, but then he said he has a mental hurdle to clear. He's not confident yet. You start going down that Ben Simmons road. How do you come back from that? Because Ben Simmons sure hasn't come back from that yet.
So I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know that story. So, and I'm going to guess there's a lot of people who don't. So, back up with that one, and kind of hit me and refresh people.
So Zion Williamson.
Yeah.
He was cleared to play basketball.
Okay.
but he said mentally he can't play basketball.
All right. Now everybody's going through stuff. I mean, I don't know what he's going through, and I never want to diminish that kind of stuff. But to your point, when that gets put on a player who's supposed to be a star, it's hard to get through that. He played 29 games this year out of 82. He's been in the league 3 years. Is that right, or 4 years? He's played 114 games in his career. I mean, I don't know, man. This is he was drafted in 19. So he played the 20, 21, 22. This is his fourth year, dude. In 4 years, he's played 114 games. He's not even playing 25 games a year. And they just upped him. Right? They just gave him a bunch of money. I know he's really good.
Yeah, he said this week, quote, physically I'm fine. Now it's just a matter of when I feel like Zion. I know the atmosphere I'd be entering based off like the playoff experience. So now it's just a matter of when I feel like Zion.
When I want to play? What does that even mean?
Like if you're scared of getting hurt, that's a road you can't come back from.
So you're a general manager. You're their general manager. Do you want him?
And I know a lot of people have been looking at the Joel Embiid situation. When he was coming out of Kansas, he had the foot injury. His first 3 years, he missed a lot of time. The dude did not play a lot of basketball.
Yep. But now he's the MVP.
But with Joel, that was legitimate. Big man is hurt. We are taking our time.
Well, big man foot injuries are brutal.
This is Zion is hurt. Zion is cleared to play basketball. Zion don't want to play basketball.
Zion makes lots of money to not play basketball.
And that's the different situation is when you have these mental hurdles that come up. And we know it's real in sport. You get the yips. You think things come up. But if you're not trusting yourself to play basketball, that's a road that not many people come back from.
All right, when we come back, I want to get into what's his value. Like what do you do? You're New Orleans' general manager. What do you do? And you're another one. Do you want him? Is this where a situation where, hey, I'll take him and we'll fix it because we can do it the right way. It's the opening drive. Glad you're with us on a Thursday morning on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Wrestling fans, feel the podcast heat.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my...
Number 1 overall pick, next can't miss guy. Re-up without him really playing, played 114 games in 5 seasons. Cleared to play in the play-in game yesterday. Opted to not ready to. 114, by the way, divided by 5 is you're playing basically 23 games a year. Making millions. What do you do with Zion? At what point do you get a reputation of, well, why would I want that guy who can't play? What do you do if you're New Orleans general manager? It's the opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and A. Marie. All right, so you're sitting there with a guy you think is a generational talent, right? Is that kind of what the thought was on this guy?
Yep.
Right. You've had him for, what did I just tell you, 5? Can it be 5 years already? Can it be that long?
Yes.
Is that right? So you don't want to be the guy who trades away a guy who goes and becomes an MVP somewhere. But by the same token, you don't want to be the guy who pays $50, $60 million a year to a guy who doesn't play. What do you do with him?
Yeah, wait it out.
You just so keep paying him. And so he was drafted in the 2019 draft. So he played the 19-20 season, 21, 22. So 4 years. I'm sorry, 4 years, 114 games. So I was a year off. So he's playing 28 games a year. So you wait it out and just let him dictate when he's going to play. It's his franchise. He does what he wants to do.
Well, he was injured
I
up until the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I understand that. He's always injured.
Yes.
Like he's always injured.
So this is This is the first time this has happened.
What was his injury?
He pulled his hamstring.
Okay.
So this is the first time that it's gotten to this mental point with Zion Williamson, where it's not just, oh, it's injured, now I'm coming back. It was I don't trust myself to come back. Because he's scared. We can straight out say it.
He's scared of getting hurt?
Yeah, because it's all he does is get hurt.
So.
And that's what I'm talking about. Once you go down that road, how do you come back from that?
I don't know, man.
Like when it's in your head about, man, if I start playing basketball, I'm going to get hurt again. I'm going to miss time. Not living up to expectations. Yeah, you're not living up to expectations. But you still got to go out there and play basketball when you're cleared. But when you have that hurdle in your head, because Ben Simmons sure as heck can come back from it, all that dude has done is sit on the bench. And that's why I go back to that last playoff series where we saw Ben Simmons under the basket. Like, I'm not taking a layup. I'm passing it. And then going into that offseason, he had the opportunity to play for Team Australia. And when he did not take that opportunity to play basketball, I knew he was done. Because that shows you he doesn't have the confidence, he doesn't trust himself, and he ain't coming back from that. And that's the path that Zion is going down.
So you think well, they didn't say, right, what the mental anguish is or whatever. He's not ready. You think
he
that's
did say it. Zion said it.
So he said, I'm basically afraid to go out.
Quote, it's just a matter of when I feel like myself. Just feeling like myself and knowing that I can go out there and have a big impact for my team.
So, I mean, is that, and again, pardon me for missing this story yesterday. I was super busy in life yesterday, but I caught most of it. So you interpret that as saying, basically, I'm afraid to go get hurt.
Yeah. He said, quote, it's a little bit of a mental battle because, when I re-aggravated the injury back in February, it was tough. So when I go to make certain moves, there is that hesitation. Sometimes there's not, and sometimes there is. He's scared of getting hurt.
So how do you get through that? I don't blame him, by the way, in some respects, because he's always hurt. But, I mean, you're not wrong on the Ben Simmons thing. You're also maybe not wrong on the Greg Odom thing. At what point are you oft injured? We're beyond that point, aren't we? When you're playing 28 games a year, average. Larry said Zion's not appealing to me. If I'm a GM, the most important ability is availability. I sincerely hope the mental side of him improves, not only for his career, but for him as a person. Sure. I mean, sure.
And this is the time to come back. If you're cleared, play 15 minutes. You're not going to have a lot because you're sitting out the hamstring injury.
Yeah.
You're going to be out of shape. People already question Zion constantly. But late in the season, playing game, give him 10, 15 minutes if you're cleared, man. That's how you get back. That's how you start.
All right, so I'm going to go back to the initial. They're in the off season now. Their season ended. They're done. Are you exploring moving Zion? And if you're exploring moving Zion, are other teams, and the answer is yes, trying to get him on the cheap? I don't know what I think the right answer is here because you don't want to trade a guy.
Frustrated, but he's 22 years old, and you want to see if you can take this summer and address it head on. Be like, let's figure out what's going on upstairs.
Okay.
Get you confident in your body again and go. As frustrating as it is, the first move is not to trade Zion Williamson.
But is that the ultimate move?
No.
Because I'm going to guess they've made the first moves a few times. Whatever that means. I mean, do you like that roster? Do you like that team? You like C.J. McCollum? You like
this is the
Brandon
first
Ingram
time
played well.
That we're addressing this with Zion.
Okay. So
of him not trusting himself.
How much do they need to change? I mean, New Orleans, I thought, put together a decent roster. I thought did some decent things. They're out. They're done. They didn't get into the playoffs. They got in the play-in. I look around that roster and I look, wow, look what Oklahoma City done. And they did it with their number one overall pick, their generational talent, also injured, right? Now, have they done much more? I mean, they'll end up going one game more as they get beat by Minnesota. But you certainly feel like a trajectory for them is on a – I mean, if you said, okay, who do you want to be right now? You want to be Oklahoma City moving forward with what they've got and they got Chet Holmgren? You want to be the New Orleans Pelicans with what they've got and Zion? I mean –
Oklahoma City.
I think so, but is it that – I mean, you're kind of thinking about it.
No, it's Oklahoma City.
Straight up.
Yeah.
I mean, this is 5 years, like you're saying. I can't believe it's been 5 years.
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years, sorry.
Yeah, I was wrong on that.
Still.
Yeah. Yeah, he played 114 games in 4 years. What do you do? But you're saying you just the answer is not true. You
give
me right.
This is the first time that
you're dealing with the mental issue.
Dealing with this.
Okay.
Like, yeah, he's been hurt.
All right.
He's come back before.
So you're gonna eat it for another year.
He's 22 years old.
Okay.
And as frustrating as it is, and I'm throwing out the giant question, have we ever seen anyone come back from this recently? Not just, being hurt, but then getting the mental yips of questioning yourself. When we start talking about hesitation, that's the worst place to be in. But you do give it an offseason to address that specifically and see what you got with the dude who's going to be 23 years old next season.
Yeah, but he signed, what is it, a $193 million extension, right?
Exactly.
5-year rookie max, 193. It kicks in at the start of next season. Could be worth $231 million for a guy who plays a quarter of your games and doesn't play in the play-in because even though he's been cleared. I'm sitting in the front office just going, and I know they're tough decisions. What do we do, man? $231 million for a dude he's not there. I said this during the break, and I'm not saying back in the day it was better. Please don't misunderstand me, and I'm not in any way being insensitive to mental issues because I understand mental health is such an issue. Can you imagine this in the 80s, though, how Larry Bird would look at a guy who's making that kind of money, it was a first-round pick, and just go, you're okay, but you're what? You know, how would Moses Malone react to that, or Charles Barkley? Or can you imagine? And that's how much the world has changed, let alone the game has changed. But can you imagine a dude who's the face of your franchise just going, "Yeah, I can't play in the play. You know, it's an elimination game, but I'm not ready. I'm not the real me." Man, what the hell does that mean? Get your ass on the floor. Okay? Can you imagine that back on that? What would Michael Jordan say? Right? Now, I'm not telling you that would be the right answer. Don't get me wrong on that. But I mean, it just shows you the evolution of not only society in the last 20 years, but even the game. I mean, do you guys think I'm wrong on that?
No, I think they would be like, what the hell?
Right.
I'm just curious too, like how different I'm not saying he's weak or whatever, but
no,
social media too. We are just so involved in everyone's life.
We just know more, right? I mean, those guys back in that day were dealing with the same crap people deal with today. They just understand what it was.
No, they don't. They didn't have social media back then.
No. But it wasn't labeled mental health. It wasn't accepted as a reason to go get treatment. It was, well, you're freaking nuts.
Go out and play.
Yeah, you're nuts. Go deal with it. Go deal with it. I mean, that was what 20 years.
Leave it off the court.
Right. Yep. Go to work and do your job. Damn it.
There's the thing. Zion was open and honest.
Yeah.
And I am destroying him for it.
Well, we're not destroying him for it,
yes,
but
you just straight up called him soft. And what would the old heads do if this was
the situation? See, and that's why the disclaimer, right? It's a different world. Not once did I call him soft, and I did ask.
He's saying the older generation.
I did ask what the old generation would do. How would this have played 20 years ago?
And he would have been called soft.
He would have been. He would have been. No, that's right. In today's world, the fact, I'll give him credit for coming out. And are we destroying him? No, but I think there's real. Well, maybe I don't know if there's any. If you criticize or question, maybe that's called destroying. But you don't think these are real conversations? What do you do with a guy moving forward?
But this isn't social media. This is Zion sat down and said all this out of his mouth.
No, I get it.
And that's one where you go, okay, should you have just left it at, I'm hurt, I just was not able to come back? Because this is now worst case scenario for Zion and the Pelicans to have all this happen to where it came out that, yeah, he could have been on the floor. Yeah, you're playing in an elimination game, and he's not there.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
That's the...
Yeah. As much as we say we want to hear the truth, we don't want to hear the truth. But would that have been best for them? Yeah.
This is different where we start going down this road, because when you start saying you don't trust yourself.
Yes. How does somebody else trust yourself? Yeah. You don't like yourself, how does someone else like you? If you don't trust you, how does someone else trust you?
And there is only one thing New Orleans can do right now.
And that's ride it out and get them help. 505-246-0610. That's how to get in. Want to hear from you on what would you do? I mean, you're the GM. You're another GM. Are you inquiring? Hey, we can get Zion on the cheap.
What are you doing Friday, tomorrow? What are your weekend plans? Are you looking for some live entertainment? Because I have the perfect place for you to go. It's 377 Brewery on the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson. I've been telling you about 377 Brewery, and I'm very excited because
we would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say, people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters.
That's how they played hoops back in the day. It was sent to me by, who sent this? Gopher sent me. You asked how Larry Bird would respond. He's soft. He sent me this picture, this video. It's just a different world. It just is. And to your point, you bring up a really fair point. Zion came out. He was honest. He said, look, I'm dealing with this uncertainty. I'm not me. I'm not, I'm afraid to get hurt. And I mean, there's going to be criticism. There's going to be conversation. There's going to be, all right, that's cool, and we got to go get you help. But there's the business side of it too, right? We always, anytime there's an issue, I don't want to equate this to a tragedy because it's not quite that, but we always at some point have to go to, okay, what's next as far as moving forward, right? We always got to, you say, okay, you get to a point where you peel back the layers. Okay, well, what about moving forward? What about the business? What about the, right? What about the business here? And yes, the young man's dealing with some stuff that's real, that's understandable, that's legitimate, that's nothing to be ashamed of. But what about the business?
The business is you work on Zion this offseason. Because if you're sitting there going, we're done with him, then what makes you think you're going to get any value out of him?
Well, that's my point. Yeah.
So you invest the offseason, making sure you can find a way to get Zion Williamson on the court, get him in shape going into next season, find a number that makes sense in terms of like minutes per game that you can get the most out of him, and see if your 23-year-old franchise player paired with Brandon Ingram, a veteran guard in TJ McCollum, and a young rotation that's really good. Trey Murphy, Herbert Jones, 3-and-D guys on the perimeter, can be a top 6 team next year in the Western Conference.
Okay. Text line says, where's the sports psychologist to help out Zion Williamson? I heard the IOC use Navy SEALs to help their athletes deal with and approach their athletes' issues. Yes, Jeff, you're wrong about that. Mentioned how years ago star athletes would state a mentally struggling star is opting out would by them now be called crazy and told to just get out there. You think I am? You think I'm like in the 80s, if someone was dealing with this, that okay. Am I wrong on that? I don't think I am, but if I am, I'll eat when I'm wrong. I think back in the 80s, 20, 30, 40 years ago, if this wasn't as accepted and understood, and if a guy was fine to play, but his head wasn't right, shut up and get out there and let's play. You're nuts. Let's go. I think that's how it was. I think we've come a long way forward in that. I think this is good that we're able to recognize it and treat it and help it. Same phone number on the text line. Yes, Jeff, we're talking about excuses. I said it's inexcusable that a professional team is 50%. What was it, 18 for 36 the free throw line? I'm wrong. Yes, Jeff, there are many excuses that NBA players miss free throws. Often player skills are lacking, yet they resist coaching type development. The best ability isn't availability, it's coachability. Otherwise, NBA players, often the best in their school and team till then, state they're all that and don't need coaching, especially the basics like free throws. Lastly, a lot of coaches don't emphasize and or require enough of them in practice. As an El Dorado coach, I once assisted, I did. So you're telling me the excuses are that they don't want to do it, that they don't work on it? That's not an excuse to me. So I'm going to stand by when I say it's inexcusable. If the excuse is they don't work on their skills, they're lacking it, and they're not being coached, they're freaking professional basketball players. They can't shoot free throws? Come on.
They're not. That's such a weird pull out of they shot bad that game. And that's the point, is in the most important games, going 50% is inexcusable because the two guys that were under 50% in Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby are 80+% free throw shooters on the season. That's not them not practicing because they don't accept coaching. Those them not making them in the biggest moment.
Yeah, when they count. That's out of the Jeff, you're wrong book, though. I mean, we could just make a big binder on those. That's from this phone number. No, you're wrong, Jeff. You're wrong, Jeff. I'm good with that. Can we get a big binder on that one and just print out all these? It'd be because kind of the Ask Game Marias, which I got one for you as well. We can just have two big binders. Jeff, you're wrong. I totally disagree with JJ, and then a third. Let's ask.
No, JJ, get off my rock.
Like your take is right in the moment in the play-in game, win or go home scenario, 9-10 match. If you're at home, you shoot 50%. That's inexcusable. The take from that is not, they don't accept coaching. When you look at Fred VanVleet, who shot 50%, and by the way, do you know he's a career 86% free throw shooter? Pascal Siakam, over 80% on the season. OG, over 80% on the season. They shoot 50% in the moment. That's inexcusable. It's not them taking the coaching.
You miss 18 out of 36 free throws. open, uncontested, 15-foot shots in big games because you got a little girl screaming at you.
That. Oh, it was loud.
Which, by the way, was piercing. Yeah, it was flat out.
Great. It's funny on social media after the fact. They're like, give her a 10-day. Sign her up right now.
I mean,
I love it.
NIL deal.
DeMar DeRozan's daughter.
Something. I mean, something.
Used to be a fan favorite in Toronto. Now, not so much.
The Grims, the thin screecher.
Yeah.
It just. It's really good.
I would be the same way. I'm not gonna lie.
Which way?
Like DeMar DeRozan's daughter. I assume I would have been that way at that age if my father was playing in the NBA.
Fair. Yeah. She's into it, and she's the MVP. She's the MVP. But it's because they don't get coached. 505-246-0610. Don't forget, we got Project Save a Life, or we're not calling it Project Save a Life, but Save a Life. Get out this weekend. I got a text already. It says, I went to your website and signed up seamlessly to learn CPR this weekend. Will the OD crew be on hand learning to save lives as well? Hats off to UNM and the Sports Animal for such a great community service event. Appreciate that. Look at that.
We'll all be out there.
All right, something's not right. There was something kind of warm and nice on the text line.
Squads will be out there.
Yeah, we'll all be out there.
We'll all be out there.
Different times in the morning. But yeah, we'll be out there, and it's a big deal. And that early session, that 9 o'clock session, is going to be gigantic. The 10 o'clock's filling up. The 11 o'clock's filling up. So, yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate you being out there. You know what I got that we didn't get to yesterday, and I want to. Amory, yesterday we started talking about different ways to get hurt. How did that start? Did you talk about hurting your back sneezing?
Oh, because of Jaden McDaniels.
Oh.
Slugging a wall?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's not a good way to get hurt.
Ever see the wall crumble, by the way? The wall ever lose?
No.
The wall is LeVar Ball, right?
Just Father Time.
Undefeated. Never lost. That's
Yeah.
what JJ said. Not Father Time isn't undefeated. The freaking concrete wall.
Yeah, never going to win.
Never. You guys sent a bunch of those in yesterday about different ways y'all have been hurt. And I felt compelled that I got to get into those and read
Oh, I'm
those
going to
for
put that up on the Twitter right now, too.
Which is like the dumbest way you ever got hurt?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. You ever hurt your back sneezing yet?
No, but
You will.
but
You will.
I used to be an athlete and just like working out now, and I'm like, gosh,
Yeah.
I just get hurt
But
more.
more
easily.
stuff like, like sneezing
Oh.
or stepping off the
Stepping,
curb
yeah.
or
all the time.
well, that kind of stuff. All right, I got a few of those. 505-246-0610. Love to hear from you today. 888-922-0610. On the play-in game, we're getting into a little baseball, and the Rays are one win away from tying a Major League Baseball record. Tell you what that is down in Tampa Bay. I was out pulling weeds on 2 days ago. Front yard's got by the way, a lot of weeds. Anyway, I'm just out there. The IPS Officer Crespin, just kind of pulled up, doing his rounds. I tell you, I have IPS watch my home, protect my home. That's what it is. They come by every day, not just when something's bad. They come by to make sure that there's a presence.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what?
Injuries happen, man. Injuries happen all the time. Guys slug walls. Guys are unavailable because they tried to slug their teammate. They headbutt the concrete stadium. Remember your guy Gus Frerotte? You ever see that one? So we had this conversation yesterday with like some of the odd ways you got hurt. People were sneezing. You sent some of these up. I never got them to you, but they came in like late in the show. Text line or the Venom line, whichever you want to call it. Growing up, had a glass shatter in my hand while washing dishes. That sucks.
You see that happen.
Played in the game that day, taped up with a batting glove on my throwing hand. All right.
So what's up?
Yep. Back in the day, I remember when I was a kid and soda still came in glass bottles before plastic.
We get cut and we show up.
I was carrying, and I had to be like 6. I was helping my mom carry the groceries up, tripped over the stairs, broke it, and the glass bottle, that's this scar right here, carved my finger. Just, it was a pretty gnarly one. This one says, all right, help me. I need your help visioning this one. I hurt my back playing golf. Fell off the ball washer.
Ooh.
How much birdie juice was involved?
All right. I want you to think what the ball washer looks like. So there's the two of them. There's the one where you put the ball in and you wind it.
Yeah, and then there's the
vigorous. The one with the knob on
you're
it
just
that
like,
you were sitting, riding. What were you doing on the I played a lot of golf. I don't know that I've ever seen anybody on the ball washer. Have you?
I have never seen that before.
I have seen this. Played golf in a tournament years ago with someone who he doesn't play golf very often. Watched us all watch our golf balls at the at whatever tee it was. JJ, I'm not lying. He put his ball in, turned the lever, opened it up, and the ball wasn't there.
It's disappeared.
And he was looking around like, what happened to my ball? Like, how do I get it out? Where'd my ball go? That was funny to me. All right, this one. How the hell do you? Okay, if you're with us today, your last 4 8571. What the hell were you doing? Like, I need a visual. What were you doing on the ball washer? This one says, "How I got embarrassingly hurt." You ask. Tore a labrum, I think while sleeping, having positioned my arm under my head for support instead of a pillow. Awoke to a pop in pain. You ever wake up sore after sleeping?
Yeah.
Yeah. That happens, right? That happens. All right. I'm taking them. Weirdest ways you got hurt. Sneezing. Sneezing's always one. All right, A-Marie, you ready for this one? This is the time for an all-new Let's Ask A-Marie. Lobo baseball got beat yesterday by Colorado State University Pueblo 8-6.
Okay.
So it's time for another all-new edition of Let's Ask A-Marie.
Didn't watch Lobo baseball yesterday, but go ahead.
No, of course you did. Can't believe you didn't watch Lobo baseball yesterday. It's from Tellus. By beating Lobo baseball 8-6, Division II, Colorado State Pueblo, got their first Division I win since when? And for extra credit, when was the last time the T-Wolves beat Lobo baseball, if ever?
I'm guessing they never beat them before, and their last, it said Division I win?
Yeah, when was the last time they beat a Division I team?
Last year. I don't know.
All right, so I don't have this verified. I'm not looking this up. But Tellus says last time they beat a Division I team was in 2008. They beat New Mexico State.
I was way off.
At New Mexico State. And they beat the Lobos in 94.
Dang it.
I know people are losing their mind over this. I'm sorry, Jeff, but losing to Colorado State Pueblo, says Gene. I feel like Lobo
Losing's
baseball.
part of the game.
Not to D2 teams.
I feel like the baseball gods are punishing Gene for not supporting Coach Talk-A-Lot in his program. I'm sorry, Jeffy. It's from Gene. Look, man, they lost a baseball game. Probably should have lost 2 of them. They did beat Oregon State, nationally ranked. They did beat Texas Tech, nationally ranked. Baseball's a weird game, man. I don't know. Do you watch?
A lot of baseball.
Everybody but the Tampa Bay Rays.
Though, right?
Well, 50-something, 60-something games. Everybody but Tampa Bay loses. I mean, that's what happens in baseball. The Nationals are going to beat the Dodgers. Colorado State Pueblo beats the Lobos. I just... Is it all right if I don't lose my mind over that one?
No, it's not all right.
All right, damn it, I got to lose my mind. I got to get myself in the right place. I'm not ready to go yet. I'm not ready to lose my mind. I'm afraid what's going to happen. By the way, The Rays have won 12 in a row. They won yesterday over Boston, 9-7. Break
Let's
up
go,
the
Rays.
stinking Tampa Bay Rays. 12-0, one short of the best league start since 1900. Randy Rosarena hit a 3-run home run. So the 87 Brewers and the 82 Braves both opened up 13-0. The 12-game winning streak to start the season matches a team record for winning streak they set back in 2004. They get the Red Sox today. The Red Sox have lost 12 road games in a row to Tampa Bay. Huh? They threw out a pitcher making his major league debut, Taj Bradley, 22 years old, came up from AAA Durham. Did a great job. Look, you put on a Tampa Bay Rays jersey right now, and you are killing it. 505-246-0610. NBA playoffs are moving. We've got more games tonight. We'll get into that. What do the Lakers do moving forward? How well will they do? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Master of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and JJ Bond.
All right, you get more NBA as the playoffs continue. Probably not tonight, though. Night off tonight in the NBA. But Friday, Bulls and Heat. Winner moves on. Losers done. And your Oklahoma City Thunder. Oh, yeah, how much you love that Thunder. Are they America's team right now? No, they're not.
As of 8 a.m. Mountain Time, they're America's team.
Are you a a Timberwolves fan? Like, I know you. Like, how are you with your Minnesota fandom?
This is actually a great question. So,
what
whenever
I do.
people assume that I'm a Timberwolves fan,
I do.
obviously,
Yeah.
because my love of the Minnesota Vikings and my roots, but people won't even ask me sometimes when I'm on a podcast and I'm talking about the Vikings, they'll just segue straight into the Timberwolves and they'll go hardcore. They're like, we got our Timberwolves girl here, and I just know enough to just. I've never told them though that I'm not a Timberwolves fan, which is great.
So you never got into that?
No, I was a Bulls fan my whole life with all Michael Jordan. And I started following LeBron around, but then he started annoying me. I'm more of a player person now.
Okay.
Like with the NBA, I'm not loyal to a team. I love so many teams and players.
Is the NBA the hardest league?
You know how we are. We're not as fans as much as we, you know.
Yeah. No,
except
I get
when
it.
it comes to my football team.
Is the NBA the hardest league to be loyal to a team?
I don't know. I was super loyal when I was a kid growing up till I was about 18.
So I think you're right in the respect that, well, you're not right in this respect. I mean, that's how you are, so you're right. But I think it leads to the conversation we've had a little bit. Are people, especially younger people, which is fine. This is not a knock. Please don't take it this way. No. Are people that grow up now more fans of players than teams? And I'm not telling you one way's right or not. Please don't take it that way.
Not like JJ and I, but I think the younger kids.
Yeah. Are people more fans of players than they are teams? Are you more loyal to, like, you'll be a Durant guy and follow him around, and I'm a Nets fan now, I'm a Suns fan now, whatever.
Yeah.
Is that, I'm not knocking it. Please.
No.
Please don't take
Like
it
my nephews became like Golden State fans because of Curry.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We have no affiliation.
So will they be Warrior fans?
I have
because
no idea.
because back in the day, I think people became fans of a team because of a player, right? And then that just became their allegiance. They were a Giants fan, or they were a Dodgers fan, or they were a Cardinals fan, or whatever, right? Do you think it's more that way now? And is it the NBA more that way than other sports? Because I don't know that there's any more or less.
I think the NBA is more that way than other sports.
Because the personalities are so polarizing?
Yeah, I do think that more people gravitate to an individual player than a team. Because especially if you don't grow up in a specific market, you don't have necessarily that big attachment to it. So I do think that's a bigger thing in sport, where they're just more kind of like, you're a NBA fan, but you gravitate towards certain players. And what I do think is interesting, though, is the NBA. Take out your feelings for what you feel about when guys request trades, all that stuff. But like, if you're an NBA fan, your team has a lot more opportunity to get really good players because of that faster than they do in other sports. And so the movement, while it can be frustrating, can also be beneficial from franchises, being aggressive and trying to get stars.
So are you a straight Denver sports fan? You grew up there?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty much an LA sports fan because I grew up in LA. But
I was Mariners because of Ken Griffey Jr.
Okay.
I was Jordan because of the Bulls, and I've been
all right. So are you
loyal
still
to Minnesota Vikings until the day I was born?
Are you still a Mariners and Bulls fan?
No.
Okay. Because I would profess that.
And then when I moved to markets, I lived in LA. I would follow the Dodgers. When I lived in New York, I'd follow the Mets or Yankees.
Yeah. I would profess that people, that's how they initiated their fandom, was a player, right? A player from your hometown played for this team, right? Like how many young Albuquerqueans became Bears fans because Brian Urlacher,
yeah.
Or were Astros fans because Alex Bregman, or whatever, right? I think that's how, if you don't grow up in a big league city, and even if you do, sometimes there's a player, and then you just have that allegiance forever. I mean, I know Dolphins fans from the 70s, they loved Bob Greasy and Larry Zonka and Jim Kick and Paul Warfield and that whole Nick Bonacani and that group, and they stayed with it, and they stayed with their teams. I think people are more apt now to just kind of fluctuate. Do you think I'm wrong? And again,
no, not at all.
Problem.
Not at all. Not at all.
Usually it's something. It's interesting because I've been my allegiance was LA sports fan. That's how I grew up. That was my passion. That's how I grew up. That's why I got into doing what I do. Right. I was Dodgers, Kings, Lakers, right, Rams. I'm not unlike you in the regards where this is a hard Laker group for me to root for. I got a good buddy, John Ireland's their play-by-play voice. He used to be a good friend of mine. My brother's like, get over it. And I'm like, yeah, I just can't. People tell me how to be a fan. If you're a Laker fan, you're always a Laker fan. It's hard for me to root for him. Is that I'm not going to ask you if it's
My,
right or
my
wrong.
dad's the same way because he's been a Lakers fan since the day he was born, but he has a really hard time right now.
So what's he do now?
No, he's still a Lakers fan. He's just annoyed.
Annoyed. So, but he's still like, I almost am not. I'm just like,
he's also a Dodger fan.
But I found myself fluctuating the other way now. I love the way Golden State plays basketball. I've told you this over the last how many years, right? The Golden State Warriors in this incarnation remind me the most of Showtime Lakers that I've seen since Showtime Lakers. I love the way they play, and I actually like Draymond. I like Steph Curry. I'm a big Klay Thompson fan. The fact that, and this is where it goes back to that whole, I like a team because of that guy. The fact that I watched Steve Kerr in high school go off in our gym and we couldn't guard him. I've always kind of liked Steve Kerr. Well, what about his politics, Jeff? I don't care. All right. That's not kind of where I go. And I don't know. Fandom's weird, isn't it? That's why I always try to tell you, I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. Don't tell me how to be one. Right. And so I don't think it's wrong if people move their allegiance player to player. I think it's more that way now than it's been over our evolution, don't you?
I think it's easier to do in basketball. Having an affinity for a single player in the game.
More so than any other sport. I would guess
maybe baseball.
Well, I'll give you one. How many longtime Patriots fans became Buccaneers fans?
Oh, I know a bunch.
Right? I mean, would that be the parallel?
Well, it's more they root for Brady. They still
Well,
are
that's my
loyal
point.
to their Boston teams, but they just
How many Rodgers?
love Brady.
How many Rodgers fans are going to root for the Jets now?
Any Roger fans left?
There are.
Well, Packer fans are just the Packer fans I've spoken to.
They're
They're just
Packer
like
fans.
they're just like whatever
They're
happens
done.
with Aaron. No, just whatever.
Yeah, but I think they're done. But the Brady thing would be the closest that I've seen to what we're talking about in the NBA, right? I mean, look at Kiki, right? She's a Patriots fan, but she talked way more about Tom Brady than she did about the Pats the last few years. Aaron, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Aaron.
Oh, hey, Jeff. That's a real interesting topic. First off, I'm a diehard Lobo fan, so we've gone through a lot of hard times. My dad's gone through hard times. We all have. We're all trying to get to the Sweet 16, but I'm actually, a big Dodger fan because of the Dukes, and I've always been a Dodger fan. And '88 was a huge year for me. I was in high school when they won.
Yeah.
And then I'm a diehard Denver Bronco fan, and I think it's probably because of the region I'm in. And so, we suffered through 3 really terrible Super Bowl. Well, I suffered through 3 Super Bowl losses, and I love my Broncos. No matter how bad they can get, whatever. But I'm always going to be able to stick by them. And I'm a Chicago Bulls fan because of Michael Jordan.
Still a Bulls fan, right?
Obviously, yeah. That's an obvious one, and I'm still a Bulls fan.
Yeah.
Still a big time Bulls fan, and the Derrick Rose thing, and even now I'm still watching them now. And even though there's no chance in hell they're going anywhere, but it is it drives me nuts though to see people do change teams now, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
You stick with it. And I'm telling you, well, one of these days, hopefully if the Lobos ever do something, we can have that thrill like I did when Denver won the Super Bowl, I had tears in my eyes because, 39-20, 42-10, 55-10. Those were the losses that we took.
Not
and
that
I was
you
in
remember.
high school during that.
Yeah, not that you remember. Hey, Aaron, let me ask you a quick question before I let you go. So when Michael Jordan went to the Wizards, were you still a Bulls fan, or did you kind of go with the Wizards?
Oh, I was still a Bulls fan. I tried to pretend that it never happened.
Yeah, fair enough. It never did. It never did.
I don't know if that kind of sounds funny, but
No,
I
never
really did. I tried to pretend that never happened.
That's good. All right. No, hey,
I
appreciate
just saw that movie, too, by the way. That's a good
need to
movie
see
if you
that.
guys want to see it about Jordan.
I do want to see it. Hey, man, don't be a stranger. Good to hear you, Aaron. Thanks for the call. All right, 505-246-0610 is where he came in. So I think that's how people became fans, right? That's how you became a Mariners fan. Ken Griffey
or
Jr.
your family, like your family pushed you.
No doubt. Ask my kid why she's
Yeah,
got her
I mean,
allegiances.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she's still daddy's girl sports fan.
When we're going to see her go to San Diego State.
Well, no, she may go wherever she goes, and then it'll be interesting. Let's say she goes to school.
I'm kidding, by the way.
And she might.
I think she'd have fun.
And she might, but she'll have fun wherever she goes. But like, let's say she pick a city in USA. She goes to Boston. I could see her kind of getting into the Red Sox, and if she goes to Chicago, I could see her getting into something like wherever she goes. Now in San Diego, I can't see her becoming a Padre fan. I will tell you that. Although, right, when I was in San Diego, I did get a soft spot for the Padres, and they went to the World Series when I was there. And I did, but JJ, because I came up in this business and I worked for, I think I've told you these stories, right? I worked for the Padres station and got to know Tony Gwynn and Roberto Alomar and a lot of those guys, Benito Santiago, when they were coming up. So you get, right, and that's when you work for the Vikings too. When you get to know the personalities, it's like covering the Lobos, right? You get to know people, and you tend to, as a human, want good things to happen to good people.
Yes.
That's all. I don't know. Whatever fandom is. That's not where I plan to go today. I don't know why we went there. But how did we get there? Doesn't really matter. 505-246-0610. How are you? Are you a fan of teams or individuals? Your kids, are they different or the same? Just kind of curious how it goes today. Nobody likes Aaron.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would
New Orleans playoff run is over after one play-in game. I guess it was no playoff run. There was a play-in run. In and off are two different things, right? 123-118, the Thunder beat the Pelicans. Zion Williamson did not play, although he was cleared. Lenny said, while everyone gets on Zion, JJ, he played in 20 more games in his first 4 seasons than Joel Embiid, 114 to 94. Same trajectory, but he must lose 20 pounds. So you brought that up earlier. Right.
Difference is we're dealing with a mental hurdle for Zion Williamson,
which you were not, I don't think, with.
Joel Embiid never said, "Well, I can't play because I'm in my own head." Were there some hesitation in there? I'm sure there was trying to come back, but it's a bit of a different story when a player is cleared to resume basketball activity, been doing some 3-on-3 work, and then comes out and says, I can't get out of my own head right now. They hope he's on the the Embiid trajectory, because that means NBA MVP.
Do you it's interesting. It's almost like, he's 18 to 22, so we're going to kind of, he should be in high school now, he should be in college, and he's not. You're paying him, there's a $231 million contract out there. And how worried should you be? How concerned should you be that it's something in his head? I think it's a question, and it's a risk, and it's something they got to work through. All right, John sent in a story on his fandom roots. He said, "Hey Jeff, love this topic. We've been talking about how do you become a fan? How are you? Are you a fan of a team, or are you a fan of players these days? I'm not telling you there's a right way or wrong way. I think there's been a big shift now to people. I don't even know if it's more, but a lot of people who are just kind of fluctuate. I like that player, and I'm gonna be a fan of whoever that player is playing with, whatever jersey. And I think that happens in international soccer, right? Doesn't that happen a lot in international soccer? The big names, when they move clubs, they move leagues, right? Whether it's the Messis, the Ronaldos, by the way, you had big international soccer news yesterday, did you?
Very T-Wolves-esque.
Yeah. John says, love the topic. My fandom has very solid roots. I'm a huge Packer fan. My dad was from there, and he used to give Bart Starr and Paul Hornung rides to the training camp field on his bike. Kids still do that today. I'm a big Cubs fan, too. I'm such a Cubs fan because back in the day, we would come in off of the Sandlot for lunch, and the Cubs were always on WGN. There were no lights at Wrigley Field back then. So we would watch and go out and act like we were Ryan Sandberg or Andre Dawson the rest of the day. I also like the Dodgers, though. Growing up here, I love the Dukes. And it was great to see the Dodgers like Pedro Guerrero, Darryl Strawberry, et cetera, come through on rehab stints. I've grown up here. And basketball-wise, I'm a Bulls fan because of MJ. But I also like the Lakers because of Michael Cooper. I'm more of a college basketball fan, though. I love my Lobos. Have a good day. It's from John. Appreciate that, John. So he's going to stay with those teams, right? And I think that's the deeper rooted it gets, don't you think? Like, wouldn't it be hard for you to be not a Bronco fan? It's so deep rooted. It's how you came. It's how you grew up.
I wouldn't start rooting for another team. I can
you could have a soft spot for another team.
Yeah, I don't live and die by the results like I used to when I was younger.
Right.
I guess that's evolution for me.
It is. It's maturity. It's life. Yeah, you realize that there's a few more things that are more important, right? But, as far as, who's your team?
I think once it's your team.
I think so.
It's your team. Even the people that followed Brady, they were like Brady's success. They didn't necessarily care if the
so they're back to the
wins or losses affected them necessarily as much as it would if the Patriots won a lot.
So they're back to the Patriots now.
Of course.
Yeah. What about
never left the Patriots?
So what about the LeBron thing with the Lakers? Because I think there's a lot of people who feel like me who have been. I grew up with the Lakers, man. I grew up like I'm old enough. I kind of remember the end of some of the old dudes. Certainly, Showtime was my childhood, right? That was some of the greatest sports stuff ever for me. The Showtime Lakers, and then the LeBron thing's really hard for me. It's really hard for me. And I know there's a lot. I guess, you think after that's done, I go back and be a Laker fan again? I know people are going to tell me, you can't do that. You're do
whatever you want.
Yeah, don't tell me how I can do things. I'm a grown-ass man. Do it how I want to.
Well, because LeBron James is such a polarizing figure that when you rooted against him, you don't like the way he handles things, then you're not just going to like everything about LeBron if he joins the team that you root for.
Yeah, it's just hard to just say, okay, I like that guy because he put on that shirt. And there's a lot of people like me that struggle. I remember I told you this when I came back from LA one time. I was listening to Ireland Mason, and they made a really good point, and I think it's a fair point. A lot of the people you're either a Kobe fan or you're a LeBron fan, right? And the Kobe Laker fans are really struggling. Even though Kobe, I don't think there's a difference between the Kobe Laker fan and the Magic Laker fan, right? They were all the same guy, don't you think? Laker fan loved the Lakers with Magic, but there's a lot of them struggling with this LeBron era. And Mason and Ireland brought up a really good point. They said, if you like LeBron, doesn't mean you're cheating on Kobe. It's like I tell you all the time with Lobo football and basketball, if you support football, doesn't mean you're cheating on Lobo basketball, right? And I thought that was a really good point. And then I listened to all the callers respond to that and say that's really not the point. Like those guys, and we like for this reason, and just can't get behind LeBron and for whatever the reasons they had. It's fandom's interesting, man. Fandom's really, really, really interesting. Did you used to have like a team in the American League and the National League, or like I used to have my AL team and my NL team and my East Coast team and my West Coast team, and
I never had that.
No.
Growing up.
All right. Do you have soft spots?
I was kind of lucky, the fact that when I grew up elementary school, I was living just outside of Denver.
Yeah.
So I had all the bases covered. I had my football team, my basketball team, my Major League Baseball team, and my NHL team.
Yeah. No, you're all right there. That's how I was. No, that's how I was. You grew up in a big city like that, and it's all right there for you. All right, 505-246-0610. We are going to get into this next. JJ, I meant to do this next. We did coming back into this one. Lobos haven't had. What was the last time Lobo women's basketball had a big presence, like a post big presence? It's been a minute, right? They've got one now, a big quality transfer for Lobo women's basketball. What kind of difference she'll make? We're going to get into that next. It's the opening drive. Glad you're with us. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie. Adrian's producing for you over on the visual medium on ProView Networks. Thank you for being with us this morning on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company. Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
We would like to thank the following sponsors.
So the transfer portal's moving in college basketball. You saw what happened with Nelly Jr. Joseph earlier this week for Louisville basketball. More on the way, and for Louisville women's basketball, it is also moving. Maybe doesn't get the run that it doesn't get the publicity that the men's game does. But Louisville women's basketball got a big commit yesterday. Charlotte Cole, 6'5", played at Mississippi State in the SEC, originally from Germany, will join UNM next season. She'll have, because of the COVID year, up to 2 years of eligibility, grad transfer, and by every indication, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I watched a bunch of Mississippi State basketball, but in 29 games as a sophomore, she averaged, 13.7 points, 6.5 points last year because they played a different style. But JJ, you watched Louisville women's basketball more than just about everyone.
Saw Mississippi State in person this year.
You did see Mississippi State in person. Do you remember her?
Yes. Because warming up, you're like, oh my gosh, they got 2 6'5" centers. Now, the reason that Cole did not play a lot is because their starting center, Jessica Carter, was like all SEC level player. And so she kind of found herself in a rotation, not playing a lot of minutes. First year coach Mississippi State after Vic Schaefer took the Texas job.
Vic Schaefer, the old Ice Subs manager? I'm kidding.
Yes.
That's what the emailer calls him.
But this is the Mississippi State connection because Keith Freeman, who's assistant coach for the Lobos first season with the team last year, was at Mississippi State when Cole committed and was a big part of her recruitment. So you had that connection, and this is huge in multiple ways for the Lobos because they needed size.
When was the last time? And I'll give you the answer.
2016, 2017.
Yeah, and Ken Sickinger wrote this. Did you know this? So,
I read it in the story.
Yeah, no, and I want to give Ken Sickinger the credit in the Journal for researching this. Is where she'll be the tallest player on the UNM roster since Rochelle Vanderkeel in 16-17, and they have a connection. Sickinger wrote that Vanderkeel played for Mike Bradbury, their current coach at UNM, at Wright State before transferring when he was hired over here. And Vanderkeel was from the Netherlands, recruited to Wright State by the guy you were just talking about, Coach Freeman. And so there's something there. Looking to sign more players, obviously, during the signing period, which runs through Wednesday, May 17th. I'm sorry, Wednesday of this week through May 17th. And they're looking at a lot of people. There's a verbally committed guard from Odessa College named Noaha Diarra Berthy. But this is big, JJ. You've done women's basketball with 3 years now?
Yes.
Who's been the most prominent post presence they've had?
In the
3 years you've done it.
It was Shaquille Magruder.
And she was undersized at 6 feet, right?
And they were really good the last 2 years prior because that they had some balance because of Antonio Anderson and Shaq Magruder. The challenge last year, it was just shy in the post.
When you look around this league, and you've seen every team in the Mountain West, how many? And 6'5" is a tall woman, right? And if she's skilled and she seems to be, then you've got a huge advantage. How many? When you look around, I think the Lobos have been undersized. The good teams this league, UNLV, San Diego State, Colorado State, Boise State, whoever they happen to be, how many 6'5" post presences are there in this league?
Allison Fertig.
For
Wyoming.
Okay.
All conference player.
All right.
Freshman of the year last year.
Mm.
Really good. And then it's the challenge for the Lobos is they just didn't have the multiple bodies inside after Antonio Anderson left because you look at Desiree Young, the outstanding forward for UNLV, 6'3", but they got like 2 or 3 players that are 6'2", 6'3" in that range. So they have the depth. Boise State has had a couple 6'2", 6'3" posts that they've been playing.
So she could be really, really impactful.
Yes, this is like preseason newcomer of the year type.
Really? Okay.
Because
she played in the SEC.
Starting center for the Lobos
Well,
right off the bat.
Yeah, she played big minutes or good minutes in the SEC, which I think is the best, undoubtedly the best league in America, women's basketball. I mean,
we've seen that in South Carolina the last few years. And for UNM, it was also just a credit, man, to what Shai Magruder did last season, being really the only true forward on the team and battling. But this is big, and I know that they have their eyes on hoping to get another center into the program to have that depth, because the wing's going to be interesting because you can play, Paula Reyes as a stretch 4. They got a freshman from Texas that's coming in, 6'1" player that's more of a wing player. So they're going to have some of those options. So if you can get 2 forwards in that can contribute right away, be feeling good for the Lobos.
That's a
just
good
like
get.
the same conversation we're having for the men's team as the women's team next
Just
year.
a good get. I mean, you just got yourself a quality big. You just went out and got yourself a quality big. So it's just a good get. Dan says Mississippi State transfer Jeffrey Juan Jose y regresando Ana Maria. Just like I don't remember NJJ playing a lot of D against Lobo basketball, I don't remember this player making an impact against the Lady Lobos in that Florida tournament. Okay, that's from Dan. She didn't.
Doesn't mean that she's not good. There was just that much of a better center on the roster for Mississippi State in that game.
How many players came over?
Jessica Carter had like 30 and 15 in that game against
So
Louisville.
Dan's not big on Nelly Jr. Joseph or on Charlotte Cole.
You know who didn't play a lot too, but was the Mountain West newcomer there last year?
Hmm.
It was a redshirt freshman transferred from Kansas State for Wyoming. Guard lit it up. Like, these players are pretty good, even if they don't get a lot of time maybe sometimes.
Sometimes you can't get off the bench because you're behind someone. It's not the right system. It's a new coach. She played plenty as a sophomore. She got recruited over last year. That's what it sounds like, right? And I look. Sometimes you can't win, man. If you don't do anything, you're not doing anything. You go out and find somebody 6'5" transfer from the SEC at Mississippi State, and it's not good enough. All right. Do what you got to do. 505-246-0610. That's the 377 Brewery Hotline, Amory. It's also our text line or the Venom line at 505-246-0610. Extended beer sales in the big leagues. It's becoming a thing. One player says it puts the fans at risk. Why is that? We'll talk about that next. I want to tell you about John Thomas.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company. Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Beer. Oh, I got your attention. Beer. You like beer? You one of those who's going to tell people what kind of beer to drink? Like I tell you, I don't care. Tell you how to be a fan. I'm not going to tell you what kind of beer to drink. If you like that thick, stout, drink it. If you like IPAs, guzzle it down, man. You like Coors Light, go do it. Right? Are you one of those people who tell you like, oh, yeah, how do you drink that piss?
No, and I also don't tell you who to be a fan of. I'm
Yep.
not like that. I don't tell people what to do.
Yep.
I kind of don't like that when people push stuff on me.
Look, man, when I'm gonna, let's just say I'm gonna be out and playing golf in the sun all day, I can drink light beer all day. I can't drink 4, 5, or 6 IPAs. I mean, call me soft. I don't even care.
Also,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do not turn down any kind of free beer.
Almost everybody's favorite beer is free.
Totally. They're not gonna question or judge then.
I used to say everyone's favorite beer is free, but I've learned that that's not really the case because beer snobs won't drink like a Coors Light, or at least they won't do it in public. It's like a moped, right? All right. So yesterday, Amory, we talked about beer at baseball games, and I've been wondering with shorter baseball games, they got to be selling less beer. How's that affecting the bottom line? And so there's a lot of teams now, the Brewers, of course, but the Rangers and a bunch of teams are extending beer sales. They've always ended at the end of the 7th inning. And there's a lot of Major League Baseball teams who have amended their alcohol sale policies in response to the shorter game times, and they're selling them through the 8th inning. How do you feel about that?
I love it.
Okay. The whole concept was we're going to stop at the 7th inning so people don't drive home drunk. Give them time to sober
Smart.
up. All right. Well, if you got shorter games, that means shorter innings. That means you have less time to sober up. And you're extending it through the 8th. So Phillies pitcher Matt Strom was on a podcast recently, the Baseball Isn't Boring podcast. And he says that it's stupid. Basically, it's against common sense and the safety of fans. The quote is, the reason we stopped selling in the 7th before was to give our fans time to sober up and drive home
that
safe.
is smart.
Right?
That is smart.
He's saying, isn't that right? So now with a faster paced game and me just being a man of common sense, if the game is going to finish quicker, would we not move the beer sales back to the 6th inning to give our fans time to sober up and drive home? Instead, we're going to the 8th. Now you're putting our fans and our family at risk, driving home with people who just drank beers 22 minutes ago, end quote. He's not totally wrong.
No, not at all.
I mean, look, you enjoy a beer, go enjoy a beer, but he's not wrong.
Can I be?
Please.
So usually, I'm not speaking for all sports fans.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm at a professional sporting event, and whether it be baseball or whatever, and I know beer's about to get cut off, we all go get 2.
Everybody does. Yeah, no, there's everybody knows the rules, and you try to get in. Is it if you're in line by the end of the 7th, or?
I believe so.
All right. Baseball games are down. Isn't it crazy? They're down 31 minutes since 1984. So the Diamondbacks, the Rangers, the Twins, and the Brewers have all extended their beer sales, alcohol sales through the 8th inning. Marlins, Mets haven't ruled out changing. The Orioles already sold alcohol through the 8th, or until 3.5 hours after first pitch, whichever comes first. How are you supposed to know that's a bad rule, dude? What if you're sitting there and the game's 3.5 hours old and it's in the 6th inning and you get up in the 7th to go get a beer and they're like, yeah, sorry. Who knows that? I don't like it at all. Major League Baseball, I did not know this, does not regulate it. Just most franchises just use the 7th inning as a cutoff. All right. We'll see. I'm a little surprised the players spoke out against it because the fans all going, hell yeah, I want more beer. Because more beer is good beer because food is good and beer is food, so ergo, beer is good. Right? Food is good. Beer is food. Ergo, beer is good. But how do you cut off food sales that early? That's what they're talking about. All right, we're going to reset you at the top, get you through some hoops. The NFL approves a helmet to reduce quarterback concussions, specifically quarterbacks. What is it? How will it work? Get you through that next. It's the opening drive on a beautiful Thursday. He's J.J. Buck. She's A. Marie. I'm merely Jeff Symbieta on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is Said gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Oh, was stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul called. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
Has to back it out.
Look at this deep 3.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
What a steal. Stevison 2-on-1, gets up, gets it in.
He doesn't use it, comes back out to Dominguez, who takes a 3. Boom! There's that man, Superman.
Turns, shoots off. Oh,
Wow.
he made that.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a crazy shot.
Has everybody on him. Now he got open.
Open look for a 3, and that's what he does. A 3 for Denaclaw. His first bucket of the game. And that's a 3, and it'll count at the buzzer.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
And JJ Bond.
Sometimes you wonder, how do things get better? What's the next generation, the next evolution of something? And I think it's everything, right? I mean, what food and what are our phones going to look like? Who knew these things? We'd be carrying these computers around in our pocket 40 years ago, 30 years ago. What are they going to look like in 20 years? Helmets are the same way. Helmets in for football. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie, I was just telling JJ, if you come by my office, I've got helmets from the bowl teams from every year from 2006 all the way through last year. And if you go back and take the New Mexico or San Jose State helmet from 2006 and compare it to the BYU or SMU helmet from last year, like you don't have to be a helmetologist. Is that a word? A helmetologist to see there's significant difference, right? I mean, significant difference. And I think this is great. As football, we all try to make things safer. I don't know how people are going to feel that this is a quarterback-only thing, and I'm not sure why it's a quarterback-only thing. But there is a new quarterback, and the NFL and the NFL's Players Association just approved it. It's a quarterback-specific helmet, which is designed to help reduce concussions for quarterbacks, and it'll go into use, I think, right away. It's manufactured by Vicis, V-I-C-I-S. And basically what it does, you guys, is it reduces the severity of helmet to ground impacts. Now, how does it do that? Look, this is beyond, I'm not a helmetologist, but league data says that helmet to ground, this is the Tua Tagovailoa thing in Cincinnati getting thrown to the ground, accounts for approximately half of the quarterback concussions, including Tua's. He was slammed to the turf. Would you have thought that that's, I guess I would have thought there would have been a significant number. I don't know that I would have thought half of it would have been hitting your head on the ground. I'm going to tell you this is good. Now, why is this only quarterback specific? I don't know. If it's that good, and they say it performs 7% better than the most popular helmet worn by quarterbacks last season in their testing. Quote, and this is a quote from NFL executive Jeff Miller. We've now analyzed with our engineers and with the Players Association more than 1,000 concussions on a field. We have a pretty good database of how the injuries occur. This helmet performs better in laboratory testing than any helmets we have ever seen for these sorts of impacts. End quote. That's good. Right? I mean, we think this is protect guys. My only question would be why just quarterback specific, then protect everybody? No?
Feel like that's a logical next step.
I'm trying to understand technology. I'm gonna run some stuff by you that may not make sense because I'm not sure it makes sense to me either. But this is an executive for the company which began designing 0-2 matrix quarterback helmets in 2022. Quote, the unique thing about this helmet is that it has a deformal outer shell, which means when you take an impact in any location on that helmet, it will deform or basically dent in the location to absorb the impact. What that means for us, he says, as designers and engineers, we're looking to optimize it for different types of impacts, and we're able to change unique locations to try to optimize the impact of mitigation in any one area, end quote. So it kind of makes sense. So think about it. If you hit this cup, right, the cup doesn't move. Everything inside the cup moves. If this cup gave when you hit it, or a concrete freaking wall when you punched it, the liquid inside probably wouldn't move as much if the cup deformed, right? If the cup dented and bounced back. Does that make sense? As a layperson? I'm down. Positivity to me. I'm 100% down with it. So that's there's your NFL stuff for today. New helmets. That and Jeff Bezos won't bid on the Washington Commanders. Is that good? Did we want Jeff Bezos in the NFL?
You want Jeff Bezos as your owner. Because he's got more money than anyone else. And he's not going to complain about guaranteed contracts, salary cap, pushing the limits. Like this is the dude you want owning your football team.
Evidently, he doesn't want it. Because he doesn't care, right? Because it's like a Mark Cuban kind of a thing. Because he's got so much money, he's not afraid to get fined, not afraid to spend it, not afraid to think differently. Is that kind of your thought?
Absolutely.
Okay. Daniel Snyder was that guy, wasn't he? Had a lot of money, thought differently, was kind of a renegade. How'd that work out? I'm not saying it's got to be that way. I mean, look, one or another. But
Did that work out? Well, we found out he was just a terrible person than everyone else.
D-bag, yeah. Yes, I don't mind the Jeff Bezos thing. I would have been down for that as well.
Pro Football Talk saying maybe he could turn his attention to the Seahawks then.
Are they for sale? It's interesting. What do you think about the Salt Lake City push to get baseball? There's a consortium in Salt Lake City. They want Major League Baseball in Salt Lake City. You might tell me there's better markets, better cities, but they can make a case. And I don't know that baseball needs to expand. Do you think baseball is looking to expand? Has there been talk about that? Whether you're looking,
are they trying to jump into the A's market?
I think they want an expansion team. Although that's not a bad idea. It feels like the A's thing is Vegas. Although, for crying out loud, the A's to Vegas feels like it's been going on for 20 years, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Now, everybody I talk to in Vegas talks like it's a done deal. Like that's done. Does baseball need to expand? What do we got? 30 teams, right? 5, 15. No, we got 16 and 14 is 30. Yeah.
No. Is
there a market for baseball to expand? Would you feel baseball would be hurt if it expands? I say that because sometimes I just like, all right, let's stop watering down the product. How much do we need? It feels like it's at a good number, but I think I could listen to it.
When you start, I think like 30, 32, it's a comfortable number for professional sports. And right now, baseball, they're having a lot of issues with regional partners and money.
Television, you mean?
And
well, because the networks have been so unstable. Yeah.
And that was usually the thing. It's a TV money. Well, let's add another market that doesn't have a regional television partner, but that these ones that are struggling to pay.
Are Jazz games on altitude?
No.
They're not. Were they?
No. They're on they had the one of Root Sports.
Salt Lake City. Yeah. I could have sworn they were for a minute. All right. Because do you feel like there's a market that's underserved? Is Nashville underserved? Does Charlotte need baseball? I don't feel like Salt Lake City needs baseball. San Diego feels like a market that's underserved with professional sports, just with the Padres. 8th largest metropolitan area in America. That feels like one, but they're also facility underserved. Is there a place where you're like, there's a migration there? I know San Antonio wants to get into the pro football market, the NFL market. Nashville feels like an area, right, with the growth there. Feels like they've supported that basketball team really well. I'm sorry, the NFL team really well. It feels like that would be like if I was looking to put a team, they've supported hockey really well. The Titans have done really well there. Nashville feels like a place I would be interested in. Orlando's only got one, right? It's a big, big place, too. All right, 505-246-0610. I need to catch you up on some of your correspondence when we get back. Talk about fandom. Talk about Lobo women's basketball recruit. The NFL and the Rays, man. If you paid attention to the Rays, because it's kind of unbelievable what's going on there. When we come back, Topes have done something they haven't done in a while. We'll let you know what that is. They had day baseball yesterday. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, A. Marie on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Last year, you gave us...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about. We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others. and act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
With 9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Winners on the road yesterday down in beautiful El Paso, Texas. Topes were winners again. They won 4 in a row. When was the last time they've done that? It's been a long freaking time. And they're back at it again tonight. 6. What time's Josh hit the air tonight? I think it's a 6:30 game. And so you'll get Josh Sushan tonight. Not as good as 12 in a row, the Tampa Bay Rays, to start off their season. But they're off to a pretty good start. All right, a little transfer portal news in the Mountain West Conference, JJ, and we hear all this stuff about guys coming in at San Diego State, and they got Reese Dixon Watts, the 6th man of the year out of the Pac-12 from USC a couple days ago. But it's not all coming. The door's working the other way as well, is it not?
Yes, it is.
All right, Keyshawn Johnson, I know you have this up. Keyshawn Johnson was one of the big guys in their rotation. He played a big part in their run for the Aztecs to the NCAA final, the championship game, the Final Four. And he probably, I guess the door's open when you go into the portal. But this is a really interesting tweet that he put out the way he did it yesterday.
And all these guys are thankful for the opportunity. Love the college they were at. The final paragraph was, I am entering the NBA draft while keeping my eligibility and also entering the NCAA transfer portal.
It's like, what? So he's the third guy to enter the NBA draft, right? Lamont Butler did, and I think it was Jaden Ledee, right? With the potential to come back to school, keeping their eligibility. And I think San Diego State's probably planning on, this is kind of like Jalen House did last year, having both of those guys back. The Keyshot thing was interesting.
Tell me if you're not coming back. Like, all these guys should get feedback, see if they can get workouts and talk. All of them should.
Right.
But if you're one of the guys that's just piecing out, then tell me.
Well, I think
this whole declaring for the NBA draft but maintaining eligibility stuff just gets people all antsy and, you know.
Well, but they don't know. Like, if they get the response that they want, they're going to go to the NBA
then
draft.
Yeah, then say bye.
But that's what this is all about, right? Do you think they know? Do you think when?
No, I think every player should do this, but every player doesn't have to tell us they're doing it.
I got you. Okay, so you don't need a whole Twitter soliloquy. That tells me that. And they all say the same thing. I want to thank you and my coaches and the fans and everybody who supported me along the way. It's been great. I love San Diego. I love insert city here in this state U.
Yes. And then if you're asked about it, be like, yeah, I'm testing the draft water because it's my right as a player to do this and not lose my eligibility.
Fair enough. Keyshawn Johnson's was really, really interesting. He was a key contributor to San Diego State's run. He thanked everybody, did the whole perfect, is there a template? Is somebody selling these templates and just insert your picture and background here? Because they all look the same, don't they?
It's just on Instagram that you pick it.
So there is a template?
No.
Oh,
but
okay. Because they all look freaking same, don't they? Get a picture of you, here's a background, and put in your love letter. And so thanks to everybody, and it's been a great ride, and San Diego will always be part of my heart, and I love this place. With all that said, all right, here it comes. So he's going to the draft and keeping his eligibility. Oh, and by the way, I'm entering the transfer portal. And Aztec fans were just going, wait a minute, what? So this is where it's going to get interesting. And next Friday, we're going to have Kurt Roth in studio. Kurt runs the collective for the University of New Mexico when we talk about NIL. Everything I've heard out of the people I know in San Diego was Keyshawn he's looking for some NIL money. And look, I'm not going to get mad at him. Everybody's getting it, right? I mean, you've heard the numbers that are being thrown around. Guys who are coming to the University of New Mexico are getting NIL money. Don't be mad at it. It's the way it is. That's how it is. San Diego State's model, JJ, is kind of $2,000 a month, and you're going to go out and do a couple of appearances, and that's kind of what it is. They're at a point right now where, I don't know that this is sustainable. I think they're going to have to get, and they've talked about getting their collective going, and I think there is a big push to get it going. If you listened to any, did you see any of their any clips of their big celebration they held at the football stadium at Snapdragon for their basketball team? Brian Dutcher was out there. He's their head coach, and he talked about thanking the Mesa Foundation. That's what they call their collective, and encouraging people to support the Mesa Foundation. That's what they call their collective. Asking people to give so they can now go out and become more of a player in NIL. They're not yet. I'll tell you this flat out. The University of New Mexico, from everything I know, and I've heard it from too many places that are too credible to not believe it, UNM's collective is ahead of most of its peer schools and ahead of many power schools. And I don't know, JJ, can San Diego State pay that much in sunshine that they could afford to just go, yeah, here's $2,000 a month?
No.
It doesn't last that long, does it?
No.
When you hear the numbers that Lobo players are getting anywhere between $100 to $250 a year, that's right, $100,000 to $250 a year. I don't know that San Diego State, but they also got an opportunity to go to the Final Four. Well, they did it once, Jeff. Okay, they got an opportunity, right? Would you say that program's in pretty good shape? I think you would. Well, they're losing these guys. Okay. But I don't know how sustainable it is. So when I saw that and I started talking to some people yesterday, the whole NIL thing came up, and it's like, yeah, he wants to go get NIL money. He needs to get paid. Okay. Go get it, young man. Go get what you can get, right?
Capitalize on the moment. But it's the battle that's there for every college is, yes, there's a side of it of what you're able to provide in just terms of team playing, atmosphere, and then it is, all right, what kind of check am I going to be able to cash while I'm going here?
It's the reality of what it is. And so as you guys get, into the whole transfer portal and what's this, and then it's real, and as everybody navigates it, I always wonder about sustainability, right? And that's going to be an interesting conversation next Friday. How does it sustain? And Danny Gonzalez was in, last week, talking about the $20 a month club, and I know Kurt will tell you about that. But as it goes on, I always ask about sustainability, but it's going to evolve. How's San Diego State's model sustainable? If everybody else is running out there and offering six-figure deals, look, San Diego's nice. The women are beautiful. Campus is fun. San Diego State just went to a Final Four, but at some point, you can only, sunshine only goes so far as a currency, doesn't it?
Only so far.
You know what? I mean, real money spent.
There's a lot of colleges will say, well, why aren't they better? Look at the location.
That's a now conversation, right? I mean, in the past, it was fair. We had this conversation about the other day. Was it USD or somebody?
South Florida, right?
Might have been South Florida. Yeah. Why? I don't understand. And in that case, a little bit of it was facilities. And I think San Diego State was facilities for so long. And then they built Viejas and kind of realized that, now they built Snapdragon, they invested. But yeah, I think that's a big part of it. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Text line says, Nostradamus predicted that Albuquerque would have an NBA franchise in 2030. Really? Better build the El Pinto Palace.
Whew. Go.
What?
I like that name.
Were you not in on the El Pinto Palace thing?
No.
That was a while ago.
I wasn't around.
Got pranked.
Oh man. And
I was all in, head over heels.
So we did
was your heart broken?
We did a whole story on the arena was getting built.
Was it April Fool's Day?
And El Pinto came in with jars of salsa with the labels on it showing the rendition of the new arena, what it was going to look like. El Pinto was the title sponsor on the arena. And was it downtown? I think it was a downtown arena. We had the spot picked out. I think we had the mayor at the time come in on the show. Jim Garcia, who was with El Pinto at the time, sat here and talked about the vision and why El Pinto got behind it, and that there were anchor tenants coming in, and the whole thing. And then in the final segment, and he looked at JJ because JJ bit 100%,
hook, line, and sinker,
and he said April Fools. And it was like, what do you mean? There's a picture that you got salsa. There's a picture with it.
There's salsa.
It's on the freaking salsa. Yeah.
No arena.
Our former program director was a big fan of the April Fool's joke.
Yes.
A big fan of the April Fool's radio prank. I never have been, but he brought me in on that one, and there's a part of me that felt a little guilty about absolutely hooking JJ on that
Poor
one.
JJ.
Right. It made sense
It's
because
a
I
sensitive
was
subject too for people.
at the time I was producing, so I was the one answering the phones, talking to people. Like, oh yeah, can you believe it? All right, awesome, we'll get you on. And then
it was super timely too, because it was big push for the arena.
That's probably the problem. We're just a bunch of jokers in this city. Can't get anything done.
People were, the beauty of it, and this is what told you something. Everyone was so excited. People were like, yes, finally. Like that was.
Should we bring it back?
We can make it freaking happen. Like that. That's one of the things that it was a long time ago, but it made me so convicted in my belief that this town needs an arena. And again, we're going to have soccer stadium conversation. I know Bob did yesterday, and I'm not against the soccer stadium. I'm pro growth. I'm about doing things the right way, but I will still be under the contention, and it's going to be hard to convince me otherwise. And
well, I think that
the answer is it can be both, but I will stay, at least for now, affirm that I believe that we need an arena more than a soccer stadium. Now, the answer can be both. Why can't it be both?
Well, that's what the city could get behind then, an arena, right? Because this is United. It's their money leasing the land. That's what it should be. And shouldn't the push then be like that could be an Albuquerque project that
take that money
voters could actually get behind if there's a better arena plan?
So use some of the lease money, and you could even say let's use lease money that's coming in from Isotopes and the new soccer stadium, build an arena. Like we're all in agreement. And this is the issue. This is where we'll never come to an agreement, and that's why it hasn't been built in 20, 30 years. What's the right size of an arena? Is it Rio Rancho Event Center, 6,000 people? Is it 15,000? Is it an 18,000? How big of an arena do we need? And my answer was always right around 18 to 20, where you could close off the top deck for lower, for smaller stuff, but still have the availability for big concerts that just skip us in the winter. To have that venue, to be able to now start bidding on NCAA events, to be able to start looking at anchor tenants and just bigger events and concerts and stuff like that. But I will say, the answer should be, why can't we have both? I'm not anti-soccer stadium, but the El Pinto Palace thing, man, we need an arena. right? And it would be good for conventions. And I mean, the CVB wants it, or now Visit Albuquerque, they want it. Yeah. It's a whole nother can of worms I just opened up for you to take to the top of the hour. You realize that?
Oh, yeah.
All right. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Come on in and play radio with us. What do you want to talk about next? Where are you going to go?
Stating the obvious.
Ooh.
Former NFL quarterback just piles on.
That's coming up next. I want to tell you about New Mail. How's your hair? Some of us have it, and some of us don't. But there's something you can do about it. You know, it used to be back in the day, if you lost your hair, you were thinning, that was it. Just got to deal with it, wear a hat, or give in. Or now you have options. You can still do that, or you can get your hair back. You can call New Mail, and that's not just for men. That's for men and women with thinning hair. The number is 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688. Or you can go online at Newmail, NUMALE.com, and they'll walk you through the process. So make an appointment and go over and see New Mail. They're right here in Albuquerque. They'll walk you through the options. You'll choose what's best for you. Platelet-rich plasma hair therapy that uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle to stop hair loss. You regrow hair. They offer you an FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser proven to regrow hair. Neograft hair transplants, which produce natural-looking results in less than a week. There's no linear scarring. Gentlemen, ladies, get your hair back. Call New Mail. The number is 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688, or visit them online at newmail.com.
When DeMar Hamlin collapsed on the field during an NFL game, it was
the
a reminder.
small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care.
All right, there's 2 veteran names on the market. Star quarterbacks. That we're waiting on. What's going to happen? Aaron Rodgers, Packers, Jets, and Lamar Jackson. Will he or won't he be the starting quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens? And the main thing with Lamar Jackson is how long can you trust him for? And a former NFL quarterback, I'm saying the obvious part out loud, but he's adding to the narrative and what the giant question mark is with Lamar Jackson. Opening drive here on the Sports Animal. And we know what's the theme with Lamar Jackson, Amory. It's not just about
money.
He's a running quarterback that can get hurt, but they question his passing skills. Yeah, he's not a traditional pocket passer. Well, Ben Roethlisberger on his podcast said, quote, "You don't really fear him just sitting in the pocket and picking you apart." And that's true. But are we talking about Lamar Jackson 10 years from now, or what we can do over the next 5 years with Lamar Jackson? And I think that's where a lot of people are missing the mark when it comes to figuring out what Lamar Jackson is worth. Is Lamar Jackson going to age well in the NFL? No, there's not a good track record for this. But Lamar Jackson, in terms of competing in this window, he's 26 years old. I still think 4 or 5 seasons, Lamar Jackson plus athletic ability, using him in that system, you're going to compete. And that's what it comes down to, is the guaranteed money that he wants. Is it worth it? Because the last 2 years have not been in the favor of Lamar Jackson. There's no denying that. He has been hurt. But is he still someone that you could compete around?
Yes. He's a top 10 quarterback, a really, really good quarterback, a great quarterback in the NFL, the most important position in the NFL, and it just boggles my mind.
And that's
that people don't think that.
Yeah, and that's just what it really comes down to, is guaranteeing yourself an opportunity to at least have a chance and compete. Because what you got to do in that division, the AFC North, is you're going to have to figure out a way to match, to stay on the heels, and compete with Joe Burrow for a long time. Because he's not going anywhere.
Absolutely. It's a competitive division in general. I know the Browns get a lot of guff, but in general, it's a competitive division.
And this is one that I think it's ultimately negotiation business. You're going back and forth. But to me, there is an easy answer to this. Is you're going to have to take a little bit of a hit, a lot of guaranteed money over a shorter term deal, thinking 5-year deal with Lamar Jackson, and then focus on building your franchise. And right now, with going into July, because July 17th is the deadline to negotiate long-term deals or sign your franchise tag as a player, you're not breaking any news for Ben Roethlisberger. We know that people don't trust Lamar Jackson as a true pocket passer. But I think we're missing the mark thinking long-term versus maximizing the now. And the now is that investment that Baltimore or someone else is going to put into Lamar Jackson to give yourself an opportunity to compete and win in the NFL. Now, if you want to move on, you can absolutely do that and take your chances. But all these rookie quarterback contracts doesn't mean you're going to win at a high level just because your dude's on the rookie quarterback contract. You still got to be that guy. A short-term investment, a lot of money, but it's a way to compete. And I know the last 2 years, it's all the evidence against Lamar Jackson. That's why you wouldn't sign him, because he's not available. I get it. And for other teams, yeah, you're not going to be jumping at the fact of giving up first-round picks and then $200 million guaranteed right now.
But why not?
I know, and that's what I'm
JJ,
saying too.
I'm with you on this, and believe me, I even when when he wanted all that guaranteed money. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of the takes. I'm sick of that. Okay, they're going to pay quarterbacks. That the market's changed. I just don't understand. I can't remember any time this has ever happened. The quarterback position is evolving. I understand pocket passer. Okay, whatever. He's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, and people need quarterbacks. I don't understand. Most important position in the NFL. You know what you're getting instead of taking a risk on a draft pick as well.
It's
bonkers to me. It's bonkers.
Because I still trust Lamar Jackson.
It's not the money thing.
I'm looking at I'm looking at the window to compete, and if the answer is this person's not as good as Patrick Mahomes, or this person is not as good as Joe Burrow, then everyone else should just stop.
What about like a Justin Fields too? And he'll get better with years with passing, and I would actually like to see Lamar Jackson in a different system. Actually, I would see him with. I know this is a broken record too, but with like an established offense with a lot of weapons and maybe an offensive minded coach. I just wondered how different it would be. And I think you can't go wrong with going with Lamar Jackson. I give him top 7 quarterbacks in the NFL. I'll give you that. Top 7.
I actually like the system that he's been playing in.
Yeah.
Because
it works.
They know that running the football using Lamar Jackson as a runner is good. They because of that, they have failed to invest in weapons for Lamar Jackson because they have been so focused on the run game and him using his athletic ability to where we haven't been able to really see him with, as you said, those weapons on the outside. Mark Andrews is a good tight end, but you can take away good tight end. There's a few that make their mark consistently. It's Travis Kelce. It was Rob Gronkowski when he was healthy. You got to have more weapons. And so I do think that Baltimore has missed the mark by just assuming that because of the run game and the athleticism of Lamar Jackson, that they're always going to be good offensively. They haven't invested enough, and now they kind of splurge and say, hey, we're going to get a 30-year-old Odell Beckham Jr. coming off an ACL injury, and this is going to be the thing. But I trust Lamar Jackson to compete, and that is what you're looking for. You want an opportunity to win at a high level, to go toe-to-toe with the Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. Now you're taking those guys over everyone else. And it's Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, those next in the conversation. Absolutely. In the AFC. But when you have people pointing out the obvious, Ben Roethlisberger just piling on.
Come on, Benny.
We know that.
Also,
but it's not about necessarily, him just being a thrower for the next however many years. It's maximizing what he is in the now.
I don't want to hear anymore either. I would take Joe Burrow. I would take Justin Herbert. I would take Trevor Lawrence. Well, obviously, but that's not happening. And this is the guy next in line. So why don't you want it?
This is the interesting one because I think Lamar Jackson is learning that it's business. The game is not as simple as you think. Like, hey, I'm a good quarterback. They're going to pay me my money. And it's also a missed opportunity by not having the representation because he should have been re-upped at least 2 years ago. When you're looking at these guys that got new deals, like a Josh Allen out of that draft class, things like that. It's a missed opportunity for Lamar to even get to year 4 and year 5 without that extension. But this is the one that everyone seems like they have the answer for, but no one really truly knows what to do with Lamar Jackson. And I think the answer is pretty simple. With Baltimore, suck it up. You're going to have to give him a good chunk of guaranteed money.
Just pay him.
But for the next 5 years, we're not worried about Lamar Jackson 10 years from now. We're not giving him a 10-year deal because I know things are going to be different, and that's when there is a cliff for these guys that use their athleticism, that are running quarterbacks in the NFL. They have a shorter window, but the window is right now to maximize it on Lamar Jackson. And the longer this goes, too, it's not off the table for teams to come back and then throw a large guaranteed contract at Lamar Jackson. If you get past the draft, I know you've heard it, teams saying, we're out on Lamar Jackson. If, I don't know, Indianapolis doesn't like Will Levis or Anthony Richardson, and they take a Will Anderson or Jalen Carter with the number 4 pick, you're telling me the Colts and Jim Irsay wouldn't then jump back in to the Lamar Jackson conversation to try to throw a guaranteed contract at him with a huge offer sheet that then Baltimore might be hesitant to match. Mm-hmm. And then you're just giving up your first round picks after this draft. And if you have Lamar Jackson, you think you're going to be a playoff team. So those are late first round picks. So like this game is far from over for the other teams that say they're out on Lamar Jackson, because I think things will pick up after the draft. If one of those squads doesn't get the guy they like or might not be all in on Hendon Hooker, Anthony Richardson, or Will Levis.
JJ, do you think the Ravens are playing the game with Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, I think the Ravens right now assume the rest of the league is out on the cost. But that cost changes if you're a team like Indianapolis, because I'm using Indianapolis here because that's the intriguing part.
Yes.
Could they be in the Lamar Jackson conversation? Absolutely. But do they want to use the 4th overall pick as part of that compensation if they went out right now and tried to make that offer sheet and then tried to use that draft capital as opposed to waiting after the draft? And I don't think they do. I think if the draft comes and goes, and there's a couple of teams that maybe weren't as sold on QBs 3, 4, 5 in this draft, and then it could pick up again. And then we could really see things get interesting with potentially some actual offers coming in to Lamar Jackson. 505-246-0610, 377 Brewery Hotline and text line. We come back on the other side. We saw what Rudy Gobert did, but there was a player that took it to a whole nother level and connected. And what is it with fighting your teammates? It is the opening drive here on the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at Golden Pride at AB.
Teammates fight. It happens. You don't like to see Rudy Gobert taking a swipe on the bench ahead of the playoffs, getting suspended. No, he's got one more chance. When the Timberwolves take the floor against Oklahoma City, so he'll be the 8th seed in the NBA playoffs, take on the top seed Denver Nuggets after OKC beat the Pelicans last night. But boy, when it connects, it goes bad. What are we talking about? Well, international soccer. That's what we're talking about. Sadio Mane has been suspended by Bayern Munich ahead of their match this weekend because they got blitzed by Manchester City in the UEFA Champions League knockout round. Lost 3-0. And Sadio Mane went at Leroy Sané. Yeah, it's a lot of Mane and Sané. Struck him, got in a fight, altercation, post-game, after City took their lunch. And they got one more chance to play City. Knockout stages, home and home. They lost 3-0. Teammates get in a fight. Mane connects. He's going to be suspended. There's a level of frustration, Amory, in sports. But what is it with all these dudes going after their teammates right now?
Okay, especially, I'm all about the drama, and I'm all about, chirping, getting physical maybe. It's entertaining, right? It's part of sports, the adrenaline, the testosterone, whatever. It's your team. Isn't that one of the first things we learn when we start playing sports and as athletes, just how to be a good teammate and working as a team?
We are. And what we're learning too is if you feel the need, if you are compelled to punch a teammate, do it in the preseason. Get it out of the way. Draymond Green had a lot to get off his chest, so he punched Jordan Poole in preseason, and then they had the entire year to figure it out, work together, be teammates, play basketball. Don't do it in the postseason. Don't do it right before the playoffs. You think that's the biggest lesson we learned this year? Amory, is when to punch your teammate.
Yes, I guess so. Especially at the most crucial time. of your sports
Not the
season.
knockout stages of the Champions League or right before you're going to have to play a play-in game to get to the playoffs. Just do it in the preseason. Get out of the way. Get it out of your system. You have all year to work on it. You're on planes together in the locker room. Talk it out. Figure it out.
Also, you don't want to injure your team. You're letting down your team.
Just, man, sometimes when keeping it real goes wrong. Seeing that with throwing punches. And speaking of keeping it real, that's what OKC and Chicago did. The Raptors losing at home last night. I think what we're seeing with these playing game scenarios, I like the way it's set up in the NBA. The fact that the winner of the 7-8 matchup, that's a one-win situation. You get in, and still as an 8 seed, the traditional top 8 teams would get into the playoffs before the play-in tournament was created. You get one more chance to play. And I am really intrigued by this Oklahoma City team, and I have been all season long because of the core. And if you're looking at the future of the NBA, is there a team in better position than the Oklahoma City Thunder?
No.
I agree with you. They have a star player, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who would deserve an honorable mention MVP vote this year, even for a team that's under 500, but he played that well. You look at his backcourt running mate is 20 years old, and Josh Giddey. And he almost had a 30-point triple-double last night. Chet Holmgren, you remember him at Gonzaga, number 1 overall pick, hurt his foot in the preseason. He's missing this year. So that's a franchise with tremendous upside moving forward. And if I'm Minnesota, I'm not feeling all that confident, even going back home after that performance I had against the Lakers because of what happened in that fourth quarter with Karl-Anthony Towns going into a shell and disappearing and the offense unable to do anything. Now, how do you think this team responds with Rudy Gobert back? Because Jeff, don't worry, Jeff's back with us tomorrow. He decided to make his way to Las Cruces. Said that he believes that the Timberwolves would have beaten the Lakers had Rudy Gobert been there.
Yeah, they were missing 2 of their best defensive players. You mentioned that earlier in the week, JJ, and I totally agree.
I think
it's competitive.
It was more McDaniels than Gobert in that sense.
Absolutely. But I don't want to take away from the Lakers either because I know they've been playing really well and they've had really good timing this time of the season going into the play-in and playoffs. But I do believe that I was like, whoa, I was surprised it was closest game as it was, the Timberwolves versus the Lakers.
And so that's tomorrow night, the final play-in game. Chicago at Miami, the Bulls beating the Raptors, coming back from 19 points in that second half. Toronto, they're a team with a ton of question marks now moving forward because have they hit their ceiling? And Miami could be in that same spot. You have a good team, but have you cashed out? I think we're seeing that with some of the teams in the back end, especially in the Eastern Conference, with the runs that they have gone on so far. You got the Jim Rome Show coming up next. Colin Cowherd follows at the boys with you this afternoon. 2 men on. Isotopes Baseball continues their series in El Paso. Amory, great work.
Thank you.
Everyone at ProView Networks, appreciate you. We're back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Symbieta joining us live from Las Cruces, breaking it all down and getting you ready for a fantastic weekend. I'm JJ Buck, everybody. Metal, peace, and love. Talk to you tomorrow.
Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates Draws the foul, and one opportunity is set. Gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Oh, was stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul called. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
Has to back it out.
Look at this deep 3.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
What a steal. Stevison 2-on-1, gets up, gets it in.
He doesn't use it, comes back out to Dominguez, who takes the 3. Boom! There's that man, Superman.
Turns, shoots off. Oh, wow. He made that.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a crazy shot.
Has everybody on him. Now he got open.
Open look for a 3, and that's what he does. A 3 for Dennerclaw. His first bucket of the game. And that's a 3, and it'll count at the buzzer.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future and get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough. Back